What up, good people? Back with today's reflection. And today's reflection, I want to talk about how do we battle the war within. Paul talks about in Galatians being at, war with ourselves, with the flesh against the spirit. And that's a war that we have to fight day after day after day, and it don't get no easier. I don't care how spiritual you are. I don't care how religious you are. I don't care how much you read the Bible. I don't care how much you pray. Um, it's a fight that the flesh is going to always be pulling you towards worldly things, um, and and when you operating in the flesh, it gets harder. I think more so when you are trying to be more spiritual, because the flesh understands that its time is short. It's it's going to be in a position where it's going to be buried. It's going to be muted, and it's not going to have as much say so in your life as it once used to have. So like sometimes we when we in the flesh and we just in it, we're not even thinking about the spirit. The flesh has no reason to try to convict us. uh but when you start trying to come out of a certain lifestyle, you'll start noticing. You'll be thinking about the times when you was at the club, the time when you used to get high, the time you used to have sex with different people randomly. Just a different lifestyle, and you like, why am I even thinking about this stuff? But that's the flesh still trying to pull you in. And so what we have to start doing is things. We have to start putting ourselves in a position where we are feeding our spirit, and that's doing things like reading the Bible, praying, continuously, going to church, being around other people, the body of Christ. And when you do that, you will start seeing that the flesh is kind of like in the movies when the vampire goes into the church and his head starts smoking. That's how the flesh will be. The more you read the Bible, the harder it becomes to sin, because the flesh doesn't like to be convicted. And so the flesh is going to want you to go to sleep when you try to read the Bible. It's going to bring up different distractions, when you're trying to read the Bible. You'll notice that you try to read the Bible, everybody start calling. Your favorite TV show will come on. You get extra sleepy. All the things are happening because that's the flesh, and that's Satan also trying to throw these distractions, because it sees that you are feeding the spirit. And the more you start feeding that spirit, you'll watch your spirit start to get stronger, and it start to be able to tell the flesh, no, I don't want to do that. No, we're not going there. No, no, no. And it's, like I said, it's a day by day fight, but it's worth it, man, because in the end, you will get that prize that you've been searching for.